Hi, this is Joseph, founder of C.A.R.E Network. I'm here with Preston McGann, real estate agent for Greater Orlando Realty Partners. And we're interviewing Preston today because he has a heart for contribution and for giving back. Thanks for joining us today, Preston.
Thanks a lot for having me. I look forward to it for sure.
All right. So we'll jump right into it. We've got a few questions just to try to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. We want to try to get into the minds of people that believe in contribution. So let's go ahead and get started. So how long have you been in the real estate business?
I've been selling real estate since January, so probably about 7 or 8 months now.
Okay. Why did you get in the real estate business, and why did you choose real estate?
I think it's a career path that allows me, for a couple reasons, the flexibility and the opportunity to focus on my family and create what we need, but it also gives me the opportunity to create a platform that can really make a huge impact in the community and giving back.
Okay, that's great. What are some of the biggest challenges you've had so far in the real estate business?
I think two things are, I think patience is important to have, and I've learned to have that in real estate, but I think the most important are the processes that you have in place.
Okay.
I think the most successful realtors have great processes in following up with their clients, keeping in contact with leads, prospects. I mean, some sales don't happen for 6 months, a year, 18 months, but it's our job to continue to communicate, and having those processes in place are important.
Okay. So what systems in general or specifically are the ones that you think would help you the most?
I think a CRM platform is very important. I think that gives you the opportunity to save a lot of time and will generate a lot of your follow-ups and contacts with your clients by itself. But I think getting that set up is what is so time-consuming, and there's a lot of question marks around what should you spend your most of your time around, and what should you not right now. So I think a CRM process is probably what's most important.
Do you think it'd be easier to use a turnkey system, something that a lot of the marketing was done for you, more of a plug-and-play, something that was user-friendly rather than having to develop the whole system yourself?
Absolutely. I think that's the challenge, and for most real estate agents is trying to carve out the time to set up something that's not user-friendly or not turnkey. And they don't get the time away to do it. So if you had something that was already set up and you can just go in and it's user friendly and you can use it to contact your clients and build your business, that's probably the #1 challenge that I've been facing.
Okay. Are you incorporated?
I am.
Okay. And what's the name of your corporation?
McGann Real Estate and Financial Group.
Okay, great. And why did you set that up?
From a branding standpoint, I think that I want to be a real estate agent, and I realize that's going to generate a lot of the income and the things I'm doing to give back. But my long-term goal is to create a business or a company that has other team members that work for us, and we're all achieving the same goals. We're supporting our families, but we're also giving back to the community as well.
Okay. So, a lot of times I find in the real estate industry that real estate agents offer a service, but they're not a company. So if they stop doing what they were doing, then they'd be out of business. So essentially they're a service. A business is something that moves on with or without you. So I think it's great that somebody new in the business has already created their LLC or their corporation and getting started in that. And I believe that it's also a psychological driving force rather than just being Joseph or Preston receiving these checks. We actually have a company that we can build upon.
I agree.
All right. Let's see. So you're donating a portion of your commission to the charity of your client's choice and to charities that you're passionate about. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And you're doing that at closing?
Yep, at closing we do that.
And tell me why you're doing that.
I've always had a passion for wanting to give back. I think there's tons of people in need out there. And there's not a better feeling than giving to someone that doesn't expect or doesn't or doesn't expect, if you will, and seeing the happiness and joy in their face, or in this case, just giving back and knowing that it is creating happiness. But it's always been something I want to do, and now that I'm creating a platform in a company that will allow me to do that is what's most exciting.
So I noticed just the other day you made a contribution to a charity of your client's choice, and I mean that was awesome to see. What are some of the follow-up stuff that you're going to do with that client?
So my typical follow-ups with clients are touching base within the first month and seeing how everything's going with their home. If there's anything I can assist with, obviously the transaction's done, and I guess some real estates would move on and look for the next one. But it's important to continue to build that relationship with my client. they're going to have other people that want to buy homes, and I think it's important that if they know that we're always there for them, then there are always going to be opportunities to continue to grow my business through my clients. And I think the relationships in general. I mean, sometimes you go with a client to a soccer game, or you just go out to dinner a couple months later, and they tell you how their experience was with you, and now they want to get involved in the community, but keeping that lines of communication available, because you never know what may come out of it.
Okay. And you're with Greater Orlando Realty Partners.
Mm-hmm.
How did you choose that agency, and how did you come to that decision?
Well, I've got a pretty good friend that has been in the business for quite some time now, and he's a partner over there at Greater Orlando, and he's a guy that I certainly have looked up to and I trust. He's got great values. He's a family man. He does good things in the community. And I think knowing that he had his trust in that company and that's what he did was the easy decision for me to make sure that I went in that track too.
So you knew that you were going to that agency before you even got licensed?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. That's good to know. What charities are close to your heart?
To be honest, I think any charity, if my client chooses to give money back to any charity that has reached out in the community, I think it's impactful and it gives a good feeling. I think most importantly for me, living close to downtown Orlando, homelessness is something that has kind of weighed on my heart of the recent times because we're so close to it. We're just walking around the block, or we go downtown and we see a lot of homelessness and we see the struggles that they go through, and there's not enough going around. And sometimes it's not about how much money they're putting into it, but the processes that they have in place. Are we creating a process that allows them to get on their feet and then get moving in life so they can take on their own challenges, or are we just fixing immediate needs and giving right now, and then they're just going to continue in that cycle? And I think I see that, and that's something that's I want to be more involved in as we go forward.
So talking about that, you talked a little bit about family. How does it make you feel when you get involved with charity, and then how does that affect your legacy long term?
Getting involved with charity, again, there's no way to really explain it. I think when you know you're doing the right things and you're giving back from your home to other people that are in need, you know you're doing the right things. You know it's creating happiness. You don't know how big of an impact it's making. A $20 bill or a conversation with somebody may create a change in their life that allows them to get on their feet and take off. So it's important to always keep your eyes open. In regards to legacy, that's another big reason that I do this. Is I have a family, my wife and my two young kids. As they grow up, I want them to know that it's important to love other people, care for them, be sympathetic, and find ways to help them. If it's not always money, sometimes it's time you're donating to do things. But if they see that from a young age and they instill that in their character, I know that when I'm long gone, my legacy will be remembered through my children and what they're doing and the good things in the community. And I think that'll trickle all the way down.
I agree with that. So you talked a little bit about your client's charity. What charity are you most passionate about?
Personally, I don't have a specific charity that I would say that I'm passionate about right now. I think I'm early on in the process. I think that we had a nonprofit event that we threw in December where we went out and we gave out 100 bags and clothes to the homeless people for a couple hours, and they were so very grateful, and I saw the impact that made. I'm early on in the process. I've done a lot of different things. I've donated time at the food bank, Second Harvest down the street. So nothing specific at the moment.
Okay. No, I think that's great. So a few minutes ago, we were talking about maybe a list of charities that are already vetted in your local community. Talk about how that might help you, might help your clients.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think, trying to donate local is important too, because we are all a part of this community. We need to build this here. But just as myself getting started, I don't have a list of charities. I probably know 2 or 3 or 4 charities off the top of my head. I'm sure there's 30, 40, 50 out there that do great things in the community, and they deserve a fair shot. So I think having a list of charities is very important for myself and to pass on to my clients so that they can see what's going on locally and they have an option.
We were also talking just before we started this interview a little bit about the opportunity that this gives people. Can you share what we talked about just a few minutes ago and how that affects you?
Yeah, that's something I've seen over the years and myself when I want to give back is not knowing where to go. I don't have an outlet to know. I mean, you see the major charities on TV and things like that, but you don't see much locally. And I want to be involved, but sometimes I don't feel like I have 2 or 3 hours to go research it and Google it and try to figure out what I need to do because I've spent that time on the weekend now researching and not giving back. I think having an outlet or a list of charities is important. I think a lot of people out there really do have the caring heart to go out and give. They just don't know what to do. So sometimes jump starting them, whereas maybe in real estate they buy a house and we get to donate $300, $400, $500 to a local charity. And now they get the feeling of how that worked for them and their family. maybe the next weekend they're on the computer or calling me to find out how can they get involved in doing things again because they enjoyed what they did. So I think getting people involved in donating in the community is a jump start and may motivate them to continue to do things in their own personal life going forward.
So part of C.A.R.E Network, one of the things that we do is we want to give branded content to an agent like you that will send out communication through your CRM to that specific client that's going to invite them to another event that charity has. That charity at maybe a volunteer opportunity, an opportunity to participate in an event, whether it's to buy their groceries or bake sale, or buy their Christmas tree, participate in their golf tournament. Do you think that would be an effective way to communicate?
Absolutely. I think our follow-up with our clients over the years are, not too in-depth. It's how are you doing? How's everything? Is there anything we can help with? Thanks for choosing to work with me. But those probably get redundant over time with clients, and we need to give them something fresh that actually impacts their life and helps them impact the community. And I think that's a great way to send out communications to our clients over the years to know that we're still working in the community and we're to help you get involved in the community as well.
When you gave that check to the charity, how did they respond?
The specific check that I gave to the charity was I donated online to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So there wasn't a face-to-face to what I did. Some of the local communities, when we do, we absolutely walk in and we hand them a check and let them know that this is what we do and we're giving back because we're blessed in our lives, in our business. But specifically for St. Jude's, the most recent one, there wasn't anything face-to-face.
Okay. With the local charities, do you think there may be an opportunity to offer other members of their charity to fund them in the way that you're doing it?
Absolutely. I think ideas sometimes help spur actions from others, and sometimes we don't think far enough out of the box, and we have busy lives going on. But you're right. I think if other realtors or other people in self-employed businesses see that there are opportunities to leverage, what they're doing with their clients and creating income. To give back, then it may create opportunities for them to do things as well.
Absolutely. I look at you as an innovator. I really appreciate everything you're doing. How did you come up with this idea? I mean, I've seen it, but I've only seen maybe a few people in my entire real estate career doing what you're doing. What motivated you, and how did you come up with this marketing strategy or this life based in contribution through your business?
Right. That's a good question. There wasn't anything specific that I saw. I mean, I think that that I knew there's two things I'm doing right now. I'm creating a career that is going to support my family, and I want to create a platform that gives back too. And I thought to myself that what better way than to leverage my clients' purchase or sale of their property and allow them to be involved in giving. So it's my company and my client giving back. So now there's two people being affected by this transaction. And the most important is I'm involved in doing it, but all the people that see this through all of our social media strategies, our websites, our clients that are affected, that may spur them to want to do something positive as well. And I thought that was the best possible way to be consistent in giving back to the community.
So would it be fair to say that you're a leader?
I'd like to see myself a leader, absolutely. I mean, I think that it's important that people take the initiative out there to do things. We're not scared to take that jump. I think in my business, holding on to all your income with a family of two and things is probably most important because you don't want to give any away. But also know that it'll create opportunities and it'll start to bring a community together. And again, law of attraction. If you do good things, I think good things will continue to happen.
Yeah. At C.A.R.E Network, we believe that same thing. It's it's only in giving that we receive. I mean, we really believe that. It's not about us. It's about what we can offer the world. And so keeping all the commissions to yourself, I mean, that's exactly our mottos too. It's not about keeping everything. It's about taking what we need, sharing it with others, and being a blessing for others. And in return, we will be blessed. And it's not always about how much money we'll make. It's about the quality of life. It's a life worth living. So yeah. So Preston, if somebody out there was watching, wanted to contact you, how would they do that?
I have a couple ways. I've got a website that has my contact information on it. You can go to www.themcganngroup.com. That's THEMCGANNGROUP.com. I'm also on Facebook in the Orlando area under Preston McGann. I use my personal Facebook page to contact my clients, to reach out to the community. I want them to know who I am as a person, not necessarily as a realtor. So you're more than welcome to friend me on Facebook as well, and you'll see all of the business that I do and all of the family things I do as well.
So if somebody wanted to reach out to you by phone, how could they do that?
My phone number is 407-233-9939.
And if they did decide to work with you, what is it exactly that you contribute?
I bring a lot of my career background in banking, in mortgage, and credit building, and things like that. That's the start of the process for someone getting into real estate. I offer expertise in those areas, as well as when we get down to finding your home. I think I have all the tools available for sure, but the time and effort that I put into finding exactly what you need. And then at the end of the day, we'll have fun finding your home, getting you the keys to that, or selling your home. But then at the end, most importantly, we'll be giving back to the community, to a charity of your choice, so that you're finding a way to give back by being blessed to get in or sell your home. Now we're giving back something to the community.
It's amazing. So Preston, I want to thank you again for the time. I'm really proud of you. I mean that. I'm just inspired to see that there are other agents that are doing this as we build and launch the C.A.R.E network. I'm looking forward to having you in our organization and working with you and providing you some of these services that you need, and just continuing to use your story as a platform to inspire others to do what you're doing. So
Excellent.
thanks again.
Thank you so much.
All right.